Thanks for tuning in to episode 20 of the Handmade with Heart podcast. On this episode, I interview Adrienne from Quill Paper Design Co. We chat about adding unique display pieces to draw people into your booth, setting up ads on Instagram, and keeping our own likes and dislikes in mind when promoting products. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Handmade with Heart podcast. I'm your host, Dana, and I own the small business Scrappy Stitch. Have you ever wanted to know more about some of your favorite small businesses? Follow along as I interview other creative small business owners. We'll talk about getting started, what an average day for a creator is like, tips and tricks, and of course, everything is handmade with heart. Hey, Adrienne, welcome to the podcast.
Hi, Dana. Happy to be here.
Why don't you go ahead and tell us how you got started?
My business is Quill Paper Design Co. I create handcrafted stationery, including like notepads, stickers, planners, calendars. Trying to sort of branch out a little more from that, but that's primarily what I do right now. I started working from home about 3 years ago, and during like meetings, I was finding that I wanted like a large notepad, and that's really hard to find. So I wanted something like colorful. I like colors, florals, and that was just like impossible to find. So my sister and I kind of was like wondering if we could create our own. And it was supposed to be my sister and I doing the business, but she kind of fell off. And she's a graphic designer, and she kind of just didn't seem as interested. So then it just was me, and I went full force forward and have completely expanded from just desktop notepads.
How'd you decide on your shop name?
My sister and I kind of came up with it. We were thinking of maybe like pen and paper or something, and then we kind of were like, that kind of sounds kind of silly. So then Quill, I mean, not many people use quills anymore, but it was kind of more unique.
Yeah, I love it. That's so
So
cool. How would you describe your art style?
I'm a very big cat lover. So a big theme in my shop is florals and cats. I try to maybe find some dogs here and there, but there just seems to be so much cat stuff going around. A lot of my bookmarks and like calendars are cat themed.
Yeah, a lot of my fabric is cat. I've always find so many cute fabric patterns with cats. I didn't even realize it. I had somebody come up and they're like, "Do you have any dog fabric?" And I was like, "Oh, I actually don't. I'll have to look into that."
Yeah. I had someone at market. They wanted a dog button, and all I had was cats. And I was like, oh, no, I guess I don't.
So you actually make everything yourself. You don't send your designs to printers or to manufacturers. So tell
No.
me a little bit about that.
So I do purchase my artwork from other artists. So that part, I don't draw anything. I do design everything. I have technically 6 printers. One I just decommissioned because I was having issues. And then one I don't really like it. So it sits in my husband's office. But I was happy to add my one that I replaced to have 4 that are going strong half the time because the calendars take quite a while to print sometimes because they're borderless, like full color calendars. So when I have like a couple of those printing and I need like stickers, sheets cut, and I don't have those printed, or I have notepads, those also take a little bit. So I hand glue my planners, I hand punch. Sometimes I hand cut them if they're different sizes. But what I really enjoy is that a local print shop in Lancaster, I take my big reams of paper, and my guy there, he will cut paper and chipboard for me to any size that I want. And so that saves a lot of time because hand cutting all of the notepads and everything would not be good. That
Yeah.
would take forever.
Yeah.
So one day it would be nice to have like my own industrial heavy duty paper cutter, but
Mhm.
that takes up a lot of space. And I've tried ones where they're like desktop versions, and there was always an issue with it not cutting. And you probably don't realize how paper, if it's not cut together, it doesn't fit well together, and you can tell, and it drives me crazy. But I try to not be a perfectionist with it sometimes, but I have so much scrap paper because like if it wasn't cut at the same time, it's just a tad mismatched. It doesn't matter. That's all the same size. It sticks out. And
Hmm.
it kind of drives me crazy.
So, is that where the paper jogger comes in? I saw a video that you made about a paper jogger.
Yes.
So, explain what that is. 'Cause I never saw that
It
before.
I got it off of eBay because they're actually kind of expensive. So I thought that would solve all my problems of the mismatched paper. And it seems that like if you buy 8.5 by 11 reams, they're pretty much like standard, all the same size, cut clean rectangle. But when I get bigger, 11 by 17, 12 by 18, and 13 by 19, they like to be a little mismatched. And so I got the paper jogger to line it all up. And also for like when I do bulk 3 by 5 notepads, the printer because it's just like shooing them out so quick. They get so mismatched. So unless I want to like bang it on the table a million times to try to get to even up. So the paper jogger, it just shakes really loud for like 20 seconds and then it gets pretty even from that.
That's super impressive when I saw that you like bind everything, you glue everything together, you make all your own notepads. That is really cool.
It's actually a lot easier than you would think, but it took a while to figure out best way to do it.
Hmm.
A lot of trial and error.
Where do you get your inspiration from?
I do kind of have some spurts of impulsiveness. So if I see something that interests me, I kind of hyper focus on it for a little bit and try to bust it out. But the
Hmm.
nice thing is that I make everything. So I can design it, I could print it, I can make it that day and have the instant
Yeah.
satisfaction of like, oh, I made this, something new. And then I forget about it sometimes. So basically, it kind of depends on my mood in that moment. Or if I find like some cute clip art or patterns, I'm like, oh, I'll create this. It's very random. Let's just say that.
So, how do you find your art to purchase to use in your products?
There's three sites mostly. And then I have a subscription to the one, so I pretty much can download and it gives you the rights. Some, like if you're doing print on demand, you can't use it. It has to have the rights for it. But basically, you can download and use anything. But you also have to be careful that those people didn't like steal it from someone else.
Right.
And I did have an awkward situation where I was using the same graphics as someone else, and a customer was like, "Are you affiliated with this shop?" And they like sent a screenshot of someone's sticker sheet, and they had the same graphics that I was using. So that kind of gives me imposter syndrome sometimes. But like with you, you obviously don't draw like the design on your material.
Right.
That's essentially me. But that doesn't mean that I'm just like plopping something on. I am making it. Not everyone can
Absolutely.
like draw. So it makes me feel a little less when like I see other shops that they're drawing, designing, making it and it's all their own artwork, but a lot of work goes into like the calendars and stuff. It's not me just finding an image and just being able to plop it on. Like I have to do a lot of manipulation of the graphics.
I can't stand, and you'll probably agree with me on this, the people on TikTok that are like, oh, you can make a quick buck, go on Canva and get the free graphics off of Canva and
Oh my
make
God.
a coloring book, and like sell it on
Hmm.
Amazon for 20 bucks or make a
Yeah.
journal, whatever. I'm like,
Hmm.
oh my God, these people, that is not how you do it. And they're going to
Yeah.
ruin Canva, honestly, if they keep doing stuff like that. I feel like
Hmm.
they're going to take away like a lot of those free.
I'm pretty sure you can't use things from Canva like that either, and they don't know that. I've never actually personally used Canva. I'm sure they have rules against certain things, and I'm sure people don't realize that.
Yep,
I try to follow the rules. Like
me
I have
too.
the permit for my township where if you work outside your home, you have to have a permit. Like I register my business. I make sure to have everything I need. I'm just not like someone who's like, okay, I'm going to create an Etsy shop and sell.
Hmm.
I consider myself kind of business savvy. So I
Yeah.
pride myself in following the rules, I guess.
Hmm.
I don't understand these people that just open up a shop and think they're just gonna start selling and making hundreds of dollars with their Cricut. Like you
Right.
need to be a little more realistic and understand the business part of it.
Hmm. Did you take any business classes or did you just find all your information online?
In high school, actually, I took like a ton of business classes, so
Hmm.
I think a lot of that went into it. My grandma and dad, they kind of expected me to kind of do something like this, and I was like kind of shocked when they said that because when I was younger, I had a book blog and I seriously got sent like hundreds of books for free to
Wow.
review. And it was crazy how many like was interacting with authors and publishers. And I guess that was something that really impressed them. And they're like, I thought you would do something like this one day.
Oh,
And
that's great.
it's nice that they're so supportive and
Yeah.
happy to see me being successful.
Hmm.
I live in York County. The Cultural Alliance of York, they help support artists and creative people in the area. They really want to like spread art in the county, and they have a grant set up where if you need some business help, you write a proposal and like a business plan. And in January of last year, I was awarded a $2,000 grant. And that was really helpful in buying like bulk products. Because for me, like buying bulk paper and chipboard is a lot more cost effective than buying like one ream here and there or like 50 pieces of chipboard. So that was really, really awesome.
That's great. That's amazing. I know
Hmm.
there's so much if you just like I think people just don't feel like taking the time to like look
Yes.
into stuff, rules or things that could help them or whatever. And I think you're right. I think people are just like, I'm just going to start selling Disney stickers all of a sudden and a
Hmm.
Grinch and this and that. And it's like, do you do any custom orders?
Yes. My Etsy shop is primarily custom. Stickers are the easiest to make. They're the most low cost, but what I like about what I do because I design it all is I love being able to offer different fonts, different colors, different sizes. And I have a lot of people reach out to me asking for custom things. And my favorite is when they ask for something, I then can sell it. So like my Quiet Cat calendar that came from someone wanting a cute cat themed calendar. I had a teacher that wanted like a teacher theme. Those two have been some of my best sellers. Recently, it was a monthly planner, and that came out really cute. So a lot of it comes from customers wanting something and I creating it, and then I can go around and sell it.
How many shops are you in?
Two at the moment. Kindred Collections and then Expressive Avenue in Lancaster.
You did a make and take at Kindred Collections. Tell me about
Mhm.
that.
I really wanted to do an in-person workshop. So I was trying to think of ideas and I came up with a coloring book journal. So for that, I allowed you to pick, I think it was 10 different coloring sheet designs, and then it was 20 lined pages front and back. And then you could pick your back chipboard because I have some different designs, and then your own color wire. I have a bunch of colors, and then I bound it for them on the spot. So it was cool that they were able to pick which coloring pages. And now those I sell at markets. I don't sell that on Etsy at the moment, but a lot of people have been buying them because I also created a ton for that workshop, and not too many people came out, but it still was a good learning experience. This is totally random, but this illustrator is going to be creating a portrait of me,
Ooh.
and I'm super excited for it. And I want her to do a black and white version because I've been doing a bunch of coloring stuff. So I thought it'd be so cool to include like the portrait of me in black and white so they could color me.
Oh
So
my gosh, that will
I'm
be really cool.
impatiently been waiting to get that done.
How did you meet this creator?
She was posting in a group on Facebook that I'm in, and I'm like, I really want this done. So that's something I can't wait for.
Do you have any Facebook groups that you recommend for people like that have been helpful for you?
My Sticker Makers Unite on Facebook has been pretty helpful. It's fun to see other people's like designs and just like tips. And I found the cutter that I use on there, so I love it, and it's much better than like a Cricut or like the more crafting ones instead of being like a little more industrial business use. One thing I absolutely hate when someone's like, "Oh, you do that Cricut stuff, right?" I'm like,
Oh.
"No, I didn't know you could make a notepad on a Cricut." Like, come on. There's nothing against that, obviously, but
Right. No, I know
it
what you mean. I know what you
is
mean.
the people that just get a Cricut and they think they'll just start making hundreds of dollars
Hmm.
instantly.
Yeah, that's not how it works.
No, unfortunately. I don't like being considered just like a sticker shop. At markets, all I hear is, oh, stickers. And yes, I have a lot of stickers, but I want to be known as a stationery shop, not just
Hmm.
a sticker shop.
Isn't that ironic? Because like you started more with the stationery and the
Hmm.
planners,
Yeah,
right? And then
it took like maybe a year, a little less than a year to add stickers. So at events that I did in the very beginning, I didn't even have stickers. So it was just like little notepads.
well, that's good because you probably have like a wide range of prices too. So that's
Yes, because like I would have to sell like 500 stickers to make like a good profit. But now, like with calendars and higher ticket items, it's like
hmm.
nice to be able to sell one thing instead of having to sell 20 at the same price.
Yeah. I saw you also make reusable sticker books. Tell me a little bit about those.
That was kind of one of my impulsive projects where I thought it would be a lot of fun. They kind of turned out to be a little more work than I anticipated. And then I kind of forgot about them for a little bit. But I'm part of a sticker group on Facebook, and I'm pretty active on that. And it was a thing that we were discussing a bunch. So I was doing a lot of wire bound things. So I decided to try to make my own, and I found a supplier for bulk reusable sheets. So that's where that project came from.
That's really good for people who can't decide where to put their stickers. Like I have that problem. I
Hmm.
have so many stickers and I'm always like, I don't want to put them on my computer because I'm going to get rid of it eventually. I don't want to put them here because
Yeah.
like I want to be able to see them, but I don't want anything to happen to them. How do you find your makers markets that you do?
Social media mostly, kind of networking and following other small businesses in the area or Facebook groups, trying to find groups with people posting. And now at this point, I kind of have several organizers that I follow.
Hmm.
So do a lot of the same events run by them.
Yeah, that's what I do too.
A lot of people reach out asking if I want to do events too. So that makes it easier to
Yeah.
not have to find them.
Isn't that a nice feeling when people reach out to you?
Yes.
That's really
Yes,
cool.
it is. A market is positive for me when either I see repeat customers or someone reaches out from a market, or it was a Gravely Lancaster event and it was at Park City, I think Mother's Day. And someone said that they drove from Virginia just to see me. And I was like, oh my gosh,
That's
that's so
amazing.
nice.
Yeah.
I couldn't believe that.
I know. I love getting feedback like that from customers and repeat customers.
Yes.
And I make the adult clothing protectors, and a lot of
Okay.
people come and they make fun of them, but I don't think they realize that there's some people that truly need them.
Hmm.
And this woman came up to me. She like was like looking at it and smiling, and then she turns to me and she said, "I just want you to know that I bought one of these for my mom. She really needed it. And it was our absolute favorite one that we had. She loved it and we used it all the time. And when she passed
Oh,
away, everybody fought over who was going to keep it.
oh
And it made me
gosh.
cry. It really made me cry. I was like, oh my gosh, like that something that I made was so loved and well used. I was
That's
like,
so
that's
sweet.
perfect. I know.
Mhm.
Have you ever done a show in bad weather?
Yes. It started off nice and then it was torrential downpour.
Oh, that's
Um,
awful.
yes. My husband didn't sign up for being my helper, but he's very supportive and he comes and helps me set up and tear down. The one event I said that I didn't really need too much help, so he could just like drop me off and go home for a little bit because it wasn't too far. Well, thunderstorms rolled in. It was torrential downpour, and I was the only one left because I was waiting for him to get there. And I'm just like
Oh,
sheltering under my metal frame of my tent, waiting for him. And I was soaking wet, packed up all my stuff. And wind also is not my friend because my
yeah,
products are mostly lightweight. So wind and rain are not great to be outside in.
not with paper products, that's for sure.
No, no. And I package everything mostly in cellophane, which I wish I didn't have to do, but I have to protect them somehow.
Yeah. So you didn't lose any product during that?
I didn't actually.
That's
I
great.
one of the organizers helped me a lot and basically just shoved everything in, wasn't doing it nicely just to get everything packed quickly.
I am really excited to talk to you about your claw machine, which that is a big hit for you. I saw a video of that, and that is such a unique way to draw people into your tent.
I thought it would be fun for the little kids. Even adults play it. I was trying to think of a new idea. I had seen a bunch of people doing gumball machines where you like put a quarter or 50 cents in and then you get the little ball with a prize. But then I stumbled across the claw machine and my positivity set in. I'm like, I'm gonna buy this. And then tell my husband later after I already bought it.
I love it.
So recently, I just put buttons and keychains in it to make it a little more fun because it was just stickers before. It's funny because when I go to events, it seems like the vendor kids like to come stop by and like I would think that they're done, but then they just keep coming back with more money. And this is your 20th time playing now.
Oh,
So it's a lot of fun.
that's cool. I bet that thing is super heavy. Is it heavy?
It is, and my husband is not thrilled about constantly uh, being the one to do it. Impressively, it came and it was really heavy. I carried it up the stairs and I got the claw machine out of the box. And I think that shocked him because it's very difficult. But then we figured out, okay, this was his idea, is we cut like it's like a tall box. The claw machine's probably like, I don't know, like 3 feet tall, 3.5 feet tall. So the box was massive, but that won't fit in our car. So we just leave the styrofoam on it, but we store it in our garage and it's in the box. So he cut out like a big portion of the bottom. So that way you lift the top and then you put the claw machine in on the bottom piece and then put the top over it instead of having to lift it out of the box, which is very difficult.
Yeah.
So that was very clever of him.
And what do you do if you don't have electric to plug it in?
I have a portable like power station. It uses like a big battery. So instead of like a generator that uses like gas or something. So I guess I really overestimated how much wattage it used. And we can do like an 8 hour event, 6 hour event, and it uses like maybe 20% of the battery.
Wow.
So that was kind of disappointing because I bought a rather expensive one thinking that it would use a lot more power than it did, but it will be nice like if we go camping or something, which I highly doubt we will, or if we're in a power outage for days, it will come in use then. It's nice if we forget to charge it, it still will charge the claw machine.
I saw you made a funny reel about the music that it could turn on and off the music and it was driving you
Yeah,
nuts.
yeah. I didn't want to annoy other people. So it's actually kind of crazy because you can rig the machine to be like the probability of every 400th try is a winner. You can change the strength of the claw. So you could think you're winning, but then the claw will like open at the top and drop your prize down.
Ah.
So we obviously want people to win. I have it as a guaranteed win. Maybe I should try it to be a little harder, but then it's like I don't want to take too much time. But then kids like they think it's harder because they're not actually lining it up properly. So it's a little finicky because we try to program it to be play till you win. But
Mhm.
now we have to give a token every time that they don't get it because one time we couldn't get it to turn on that kept giving an error message. So then we kind of get scared about changing the settings. So I think we're okay with just giving out a token.
Yeah. So it runs off tokens or does it run off quarters or?
It honestly can run off anything.
Oh,
Um, it can do quarters. Basically, it has a slot that you put the coin in, and then it goes off the size and the weight of it. So the tokens it came with, if you would change it to a quarter, the tokens then wouldn't work. So it basically is any coin that you put in there, then you can use.
how long does it take you to set up your booth? Like if you're doing an outdoor event?
We kind of have gone into a rhythm where he does a certain thing, he knows what he needs to do. And what I like to do is I like to take a picture of my setup. So I'll like set it up in my garage the day before if
Mhm.
like I have new things or like the space is different or so. And at each market, if I like the setup, I'll take pictures and then he'll look at the pictures and put things up. So at this point, it usually can be less than an hour, but one time we were so efficient. We were like up and ready in like 30 minutes. So that was a miracle.
You posted a video about working on things at 3 a.m. when you can't sleep. Do you really get up and do
Yes,
that?
I'm a night owl. So probably like 9, 10 is my peak of my productivity. I was recently laid off from my job, which is
Hmm.
unfortunate,
I'm
but
sorry to hear
it kind of
that.
came, it's okay. I came to kind of accept it because this is the most busy time of the year with the holidays, and
Mhm.
there's really no way I could have taken on everything I'm doing right now and working my job. So now that I don't have to be up by a certain time, I kind of just work very late sometimes because I have a little bit of insomnia too, but I just have always been a night owl. So I've been waking up kind of late, like around like 11 a.m., 12 p.m. So staying up late is just like a normal day for me. I feel bad for my downstairs neighbors if they hear me like walking around in my office and have printers going and my cutting machines going. They haven't complained, so I guess it's okay.
Do you do seasonal products?
Mostly just with stickers. I have, oh gosh, I don't even know, like over 120 different sticker sheet designs at this point. So most of those are either like animals, gnomes are very popular, so I have a lot
Yeah.
of gnome stickers, and then seasonal stickers, Christmas, summer, Easter, holidays. But I don't really do like any notepads that are seasonal too much or bookmarks. Calendars obviously can be seasonal because you use it all year long.
I saw you offer mystery packs. Tell me about them.
For the stickers, when I use my cutting machine, I use 8.5 by 11. Like the whole sticker paper is that size.
Mhm.
So my sticker sheets, I used to use a Cricut, so I kind of had them a certain size, and that was the only thing that could fit on the page. But now with my new machines, I have more space where I can use the whole sheet. So then I have like this border where I can put stickers on it and like packaging stickers and stuff like that. So I became to have a lot of extra stickers. So I was thinking of how I could use them. Pretty much with every sticker order, I give like a freebie or two of some of those stickers. And then also grouping them in like packages. Recently, I'm doing like 30 mystery stickers where you can kind of see them in the package, like if you're buying them in person. So I have like the quiet animals, Christmas, and Halloween for those.
How often do you try to post on social media?
I kind of go through spurts, but I try to post stories here and there, maybe like 3 to 4 times a week. Sometimes
Mhm.
it's just like two, sometimes it's once. But I try to take pictures of like my orders of the week or
Oh, that's cool.
maybe like behind the scenes of making something or a new product. If I have new products, I like to post on there about them or markets,
Do you do more TikTok or do you do more Instagram?
Instagram for sure.
Really?
And because Instagram posts to Facebook so easily, it's a lot of
Yes,
Facebook too.
that
A
is
lot of
nice.
the older demographic uses Facebook. So,
Yeah, yes, for sure.
and for like friends and family, it's easier to share on my Facebook.
One thing that sort of annoys me about Instagram is the fact that you know how you can schedule your posts. But if you schedule your post, it won't automatically put it on Facebook.
Oh yeah,
That
that is
drives me
silly.
nuts because, I mean, what a handy feature to have that you could boom, 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 schedule things for your
Mm-hmm.
whole week. And then it can't
Yeah.
like automatically post on Facebook too. Come on. That drives me
I
nuts.
tried to do it where I would do it in advance, and that just has like I did it maybe for like a week or so, and then that totally stopped. And it's just random when I do it now at this point. It's just time consuming.
Hmm.
And sometimes I just really, and social media can kind of be toxic at times. So sometimes I wish like I didn't have a personal Facebook, but if I don't have personal Facebook, then I can't have my business Facebook. So
I agree.
kind of
Yeah.
have to have it.
I know. I barely go on there anymore on Facebook.
Actually, ads on Facebook and Instagram are pretty cheap comparatively. So,
Hmm.
and I have seen that they work pretty well. So that is one plus. I haven't paid for advertising on those in a while, though.
I have never done that actually. Was it easy to set up?
Yes, I think it's called Promote on Instagram, and it's maybe like 20 cents a click here and there, maybe a
Hmm.
little bit more. Actually, maybe less than that. You get a lot of people. On Facebook, it seems to be a lot cheaper, and you can see how many people save it, how many people share it, how many people actually click into it and go to your page. I guess it's kind of hard with Etsy to see the conversion of that, but you could do a code, like an Instagram only code. So you could tell if people were coming from your social media
Yeah, that's
and
true.
using that code.
Do you ever do any like coupons or anything like that for your shop?
I have a code that I always give like 10% off. I put that like on my business card, and repeat customers, I have a note that I send with that code because 10% off is never really like that huge of a deal to
Right.
offer. I used to do some giveaways on Instagram, but then kind of feels spammy. And I know what annoys me as a consumer. And like what I said with TikTok Shop, it's driving me crazy that it's
Yeah.
like the live feeds that come on. It's like I keep seeing this dumb calendar
Yes.
nonstop. And
The one with the curse words all over it, like
yes,
with the
yes.
roses. Me too.
It was like
Yes, it's
nonstop.
driving
And
me
I'm like, can
nuts.
I please stop seeing this? It was like two people in a row. And I'm like, I thought it was the same person after I selected, I don't want to see this again. And
Yeah.
then it was another person selling. I'm like, oh my God,
Same. Same.
please stop. I'm tired of it. Or I saw one that was horrible. It
The
was like,
wigs, I get ones with the wigs all the time,
yes,
and it's like 24-hour
so weird.
feed of like three people
It's
rotating through wigs.
like the QVC, and that's like
Yes.
how they're doing it. I
Hmm.
just that's not me. I don't want to try that hard. I guess
Yeah.
maybe if I want to make huge sales, but sometimes I can barely handle the amount I have, and it's
Mhm.
not even that much, so I can't even imagine. Like my husband is really good when I'm like stressing out and I need some help, he'll help.
Oh, well, that's great.
But it was nice because with my job, I was able to allow him to quit his job and go to school. So that's kind of scary right now that we're both jobless, but we're doing okay. The business is doing well, and we have
Good.
a little bit of a nest egg. So he's been able to help me a lot more recently. He was off of school this last week, so I had him cut some chipboard for me for the calendars, make some boxes, and package some stuff for me. Do you know Kim from Kramer's Custom
I
Designs? I think it
mm,
is.
I don't think so.
He showed me a picture of her husband's, the back of his sweatshirt, and it said, "This is what $0 an hour looks like." So I had her make two sweatshirts for us, and on the back of his sweatshirt, that's what it says. And it
That's
gets a good
cool.
laugh from people
Yeah, that's cool.
because he may complain about it here and there, but I couldn't do it without him. He's a good cheerleader and manual labor worker.
What's been the most surprising thing since starting your small business? Like something you didn't realize?
I didn't realize how much work goes into it with being the sole person of your business. My husband obviously can help,
Hmm.
but I don't really include him on being like a part of the business per se because he like does a lot of like busy work for me with like packaging things or manual labor. Being my own accountant, my social media, my shipping, my customer service, the designer, crafter, all of that
It's a lot.
can be
Photographer.
very, yes, yes. It's a lot. A lot goes into it. And it seems like I'm constantly on my phone, but a lot of the time it's for business purposes of social media or answering questions or trying
Hmm.
to write things in my calendar to remember because I never remember stuff. And it's a lot. A lot goes into it. It can be kind of stressful. Like right now with Etsy, I don't know. I think I have almost 90 open orders and it's all for like calendars and notepads. So it's not like easy sticker sheets that I can get out in a day and like
Yeah.
it takes a while for them to print and then to glue them all.
Yeah.
But the nice thing is when I have all those notepad orders, I can use my padding press to glue them like all in one go. And then I cut them apart. When I only have a few, I like hand glue them singularly. So that's a lot more time consuming. So
Mm.
that's probably the only nice part about having so many notepad orders. But
Yeah.
calendars are kind of tedious, but they're good sellers and probably make me the most money. So I don't want to stop offering those. Because you have to buy a lot of stickers to be like high profit, but the
Right.
calendars are more expensive.
So do you print on demand, like as people order things?
If I have stickers on hand, it's either they're packaged for the markets or I print two per page, or sometimes I print a little more and cut more than I need. But for the most part, I do everything on demand. Someone may not be happy that they have to wait a week for their stickers or bookmarks, but if I'm kind of make it a day of stickers, then it'll get out early, or they have to wait till the week is up and I finally get to it.
Do you primarily sell on Etsy?
I guess online, primarily Etsy. I also use Fair for wholesale. I haven't
Oh.
had too many sales on that. I also invoice directly with some people, like other small businesses or people that reach out to me on like Instagram or something.
Hmm.
And then I tried TikTok Shop and I
How'd that
got
go?
two orders on that. But honestly, I'm a big TikTok person in my free time. That's how I wind down and just kind of scroll for a couple hours, kind of like doom scrolling,
Same.
not realizing that I've been watching TikTok for over an hour.
I do the same
But
thing.
I'm starting to get annoyed by all the TikTok shop, all of the selling on there. So
Yeah.
I don't really want to be annoying on TikTok anymore. And I kind of just do behind the scenes, not like trying to sell people things. If they like what
Yeah.
they see, obviously they can go to my site, but it's annoying me and I don't want to have other people feel like that. So I kind of have decided against it. Plus, you have to send it out in 1 to 3 days, business days, and that's just not happening most of the time.
Yeah.
So that's stressful, and I don't really want that stress.
Yeah, I heard they had some crazy rules, and I actually saw, did you see a lot of people's shops just got shut down because they were doing copyright infringement?
Oh, yes.
I've been watching all that going
Yep.
on. Crazy.
Yep. Nope. Not a good thing for them.
No. And you know what I saw people were doing is, okay, so they took it off their TikTok shop, but then they just put it on a website somewhere else. And I'm like, I don't think they understand that people are watching them. Oof, they're going to be in trouble.
Yes. I have totally strayed away from doing anything that is not something I've purchased from another artist. I have customers ask me, "Oh, can you make a Hello Kitty calendar?" And I'm like, "No, I'm sorry."
Yep. Yep.
But my other cat calendar is pretty cute. Believe me, I'm a Hello Kitty fan. I mean, you can see in my background, I have Hello Kitty stuffies. So believe me, I wish I could make a Hello Kitty calendar,
Yeah, it
but
is not worth it. It's not worth
no,
it.
it is not.
Did you see the TikTok of somebody who said about all these TikTok shops getting shut down? And then she said, look at it this way. You can't do Hello Kitty. Like it's a trademark,
Mhm.
copyrighted
Yep.
thing. You cannot do it. And she said, you can't even do Hello Kitty's first cousin. She said maybe their fifth cousin, but she said don't just change the eyes a little bit and then,
Yeah.
she's like,
Yeah.
if it's a first cousin, don't do it. It was
I
a really
don't
cute
think
way to put it.
people realize like their tags on Etsy. Like you definitely cannot
Hmm.
even use the tag because you're using that audience to try to sell your product.
Right.
So,
Like, I don't think people even understand that certain words and phrases are
yes.
trademarked. I just saw another TikTok of somebody who was talking about how she made a sticker and it was like an animal sticker and she used hashtag smiley, and that is a brand like this, like smiley face. And
Oh,
that word is actually trademarked. So she got a cease and desist, and she doesn't even live in the US. She lives in another country, that she was
oh wow.
getting sued for using this, and it was her one of her hashtags on her Etsy shop. Her Etsy shop was shut down. And she's like, I'm not selling smiley face like anything. It was just I put smiley like it's describing, it's a happy sticker, smiley
Happy.
sticker, and yeah,
No.
and she got sued. Do you have any tips for anyone who wants to get started?
I would say do a lot of research, kind of hone in on your craft before trying to sell. Like I kind of jumped into it and I wasn't really totally prepared, but it's better to perfect your craft before trying to sell it. That can be a
Mhm.
big mistake.
What are your goals for your small business for next year?
So now being jobless, I'm going to try to see if I could maybe just do freelancing on the side and do my business. So it kind of opened a lot of opportunity for me at the moment. So I guess in the past, I was kind of running my business as a hobby. Like, obviously, I want to make money, but I was kind of impulsively buying new machines and equipment and starting new projects
I did
instead of
that too.
trying to, like, I don't know, make a profit. So my goal is to spend less and make more.
I definitely did that this year. I bought way less fabric than I usually do, and I was really trying to
Okay.
like rein it in. And
I was trying to do that, like, since I lost my job, it would be nice to, like, have some of that income go into our personal finances. And for Black Friday, I decided to buy a laser engraver machine, which was
oh.
rather expensive. So that was impulsive.
Well, we are nearing the end of the podcast, and that means it is time for your random fact. Do you have your random
Okay.
fact for me?
Yes. It has been calculated by someone with a lot of time on their hands that one pine tree on average can produce up to 80,000 sheets of paper. So to put that into perspective, one standard box of printed paper contains 2,500 sheets. So that would work out at 32 boxes of paper. And laid end to end, that paper would be the length of over 147 miles.
Wow,
So that's a lot of paper for one pine tree.
that is a lot of paper. That is so
And
cool.
my notepads are 30 pages. So that would make about a little over 2,600 notepads.
Wow,
That's a lot of notepads.
that is a lot. Well, thanks so much for joining me on the podcast today, Adrienne.
Yes, of course, it was a lot of fun.
Yeah, I can't wait for our next event together.
Yes, definitely.
Have a great day.
Thanks, you too. Bye.
Bye. Thanks for listening to this episode of the Handmade with Heart podcast. Don't forget to follow Adrienne at Quill Paper Design Co., and you can find me at Scrappy Stitch and the Handmade with Heart podcast.